My own brother stole my entire inheritance, and everyone believed him. But what he didn't know was that I was about to ruin his life without touching a single dollar. I never thought my biggest enemy would be someone I grew up with. Someone I trusted. Someone I called family. But money, especially inheritance money, changes people in ways you can't imagine. And my brother? He didn't just change. He turned into someone I didn't even recognize anymore. So here's the story. My name is Arjun. I'm 28 years old. I have an older brother named Rohan. He's 32. Growing up, we were close. Or at least, I thought we were. Rohan was always the golden child. Top grades. Confident. Charismatic. And me? I was just there. Not bad. Not great. Just average. But I never cared about competition. He was my brother. Our parents worked hard their whole lives. My dad built a small business from scratch. Nothing huge, but enough to give us a comfortable life. My mom handled everything at home. We weren't rich. But we were stable. Or at least, that's what I thought. Everything changed when my dad got sick. It happened fast. 1 month he was fine. Next month, he was in the hospital. And within 6 months, he was gone. That was the hardest time of my life. Losing a parent hits differently. But what made it worse was what happened after. A few weeks after the funeral, we were called to discuss the will. It was just me, my brother, and our mom. I remember sitting there, nervous. Not because of money, but because it felt like the final goodbye. The lawyer started reading the will. And that's when things got strange. Apparently, my dad had left almost everything to my brother. The house. The business. The savings. Everything. I just sat there. Confused. This didn't make sense. My dad was never unfair. He always treated us equally. So why would he do this? But my brother? He didn't look surprised. Not even a little. In fact, he looked prepared. That's when I started noticing things. Small things. The way he avoided eye contact. The way he quickly signed papers. The way he rushed everything. It didn't feel right. Later that night, I confronted him. I asked, "Did you know about this?" He paused. Then said, "Dad trusted me more." That's all. That answer didn't sit right with me. Not because of money, but because of what it implied. That I wasn't worthy. I went to my mom, hoping she would clarify things. But she just said, "Your brother handled most things in the last months." And that was it. No explanation. No questions. That's when the doubt started growing. Something was off. Really off. So I started digging. Not in an obvious way. Just small things. Checking documents. Looking at old emails. Talking to people who worked with my dad. And then, I found something. An older version of the will. From 2 years ago. And guess what? In that version, everything was split equally. 50 to 50. Just like I expected. That's when it hit me. The will had been changed. Recently. But the real question was, why? And more importantly, how? So I kept digging. And what I found next changed everything. Turns out, the updated will was made just 3 weeks before my dad passed away. At that time, my dad was barely conscious. He was on heavy medication. Sometimes he didn't even recognize me. So how could he make such a big decision? It didn't make sense. Unless he didn't. That's when the thought crossed my mind. What if my brother manipulated everything? I confronted him again. This time more directly. I asked, "Did you change the will?" He laughed. Actually laughed. And said, "Be careful what you accuse me of." That's when I realized something important. He had control now. The house was in his name. The business was in his name. Legally. I had nothing. And for a moment, I felt defeated. Like I had already lost. But then I remembered something my dad used to say. Smart people don't react, they wait. So I stopped arguing. Stopped questioning. Stopped reacting. Instead, I acted normal. Like I accepted everything. Like I moved on. And that's when my brother made his biggest mistake. He got comfortable. Too comfortable. Within weeks, he started spending money like crazy. New car. Luxury clothes. Expensive parties. He started acting like he owned the world. Like he had one. And the whole time, I was watching. Waiting. Collecting. Because I knew one thing. I didn't need to fight him directly. I just needed to let him destroy himself. And what happened next? Let's just say, by the time he realized what was happening, it was already too late. So while my brother was busy enjoying his victory, I was quietly building mine. Because the truth is, revenge isn't about anger. It's about timing. The first thing I needed was proof. Not assumptions. Not emotions. Actual proof. I started with my dad's old office. Most people ignored it after his passing. But I knew that's where the answers would be. After days of searching, I found something hidden in a drawer. A USB drive. Old. Dusty. But still working. Inside it were scanned documents. Financial records. Emails. And most importantly, a recording. It was my dad's voice. Weak, but clear. He was talking to someone. And that someone was my brother. In the recording, my dad said, "I don't want to change the will." But my brother kept insisting. Pressuring him. Manipulating him. That was it. That was the proof I needed. But I wasn't done yet. I contacted a lawyer. A really good one. I showed him everything. He looked at me and said, "This is bigger than you think." Turns out, if I could prove that the will was changed under pressure, the entire document could be declared invalid. I needed more. More evidence. More pressure. More mistakes from my brother. So I waited. And like I expected, he didn't disappoint. With all that money, he started making reckless decisions. Bad investments. Risky business deals. He stopped listening to people. Thought he was untouchable. And then, he made the biggest mistake of all. He trusted the wrong people. He invested a huge chunk of money into a guaranteed profit deal. It was a scam. Within months, he lost almost everything. Now the pressure was on him. Loans. Debts. Angry calls. And desperate people. Make desperate choices. That's when I made my move. I filed the case. Court cases aren't fast. They take time. But every single hearing was destroying him mentally. Then came the big day. We presented everything. The old will. The timeline. And finally, The recording. The room went silent. You could literally hear a pin drop. I looked at him. For the first time. He looked scared. His lawyer tried to defend him. But it was over. The evidence was too strong. A few weeks later, the decision came. The court declared the updated will invalid. Everything went back to the original will. 50-50. Just like my dad intended. Because remember, he had already lost most of the money. So when everything was recalculated, he didn't just lose control. He ended up in debt. He came to me one last time. No arrogance. No attitude. Just desperation. He said, "Please, help me." I looked at him. The same person who betrayed me. The same person who tried to take everything. And I said, "No. Not out of anger. But because actions have consequences." He made his choices. And now, he had to live with them. In the end, I didn't destroy my brother. He did that all by himself. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more insane real-life stories. Because trust me, the next one is even crazier.